All right, let's pick up where we left off. You should be watching the second, obviously. This is Making a Movie Clip Part 2. Pardon, there was a couple clicks there that I shouldn't have done at the end of that video, but I have basically gone up to step 33 here. I have 3 frames each of sort of beginning, middle, and end of the sort of bird flying. I sort of explained at the end of the last video that we are sort of, like the jumping jack, we already have kind of the information, the visual information to sort of complete a full cycle of a bird flying. Um, so let's hop into that. On step 34, it says go to frame 10 and insert a blank keyframe. Okay, so I'm going to insert a blank keyframe. Okay. And then it says go to frame 4 and copy the bird in that frame. You got to sort of be careful where you are. This is already selected, but I'm going to select it again, and I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to go back to frame 10. Here I am on step 36, and choose Edit. What's called paste in place. Paste in place means that we're pasting it back down exactly where we pasted it from. So the positioning is pretty perfect. Now it says go to frame 12 and insert a frame. All we're doing here is extending this out 3 frames. Okay, so if we imagine, and this is sort of just like our jumping jack, but it's just a little bit different. We're making it in the movie clip. Wings up, wings middle, wings down, wings back in the middle. Okay, and we know what we know about animate is that when it gets to the end, and this is the case for the movie clip as well, it's going to go directly back to the beginning. So we can sort of imagine that we'll get the full cycle of this bird flying. Okay. So that is what we did up to step 37. This next portion, which I sort of have sectioned out, is called animating a movie clip within animating within the scene timeline. So let's head directly into that. I'm going to bring my tools back over here. It says go to scene 1 in the middle left of the screen. Okay, so we go right here. At this point, we're really only going to be dealing with the bird movie clip. We used bird JPEG and bird graphic to make movie clip. Okay, if you want to get rid of the bird JPEG, feel free to do so. Now it says drag the bird movie clip from the library onto the stage. Okay. And believe it or not, we want to test the movie. We just want to sort of see that this thing is working. So I'm going to go to Test in Animate. And there we have a bird. Okay, it's not doing much. It's flying. We don't have any background, so we can't sort of see that it's flying forward. We can know that birds fly forward, so we can sort of assume that. But what we're going to do is sort of animate this thing within the timeline. Okay. Now, next thing it says, position this movie clip off the stage to the right-hand side. So I'm going to grab it, whoops, and I'm going to move it off to the right-hand side. Now, like a graphic, we can sort of make a tween with this. So it'll be doing its flapping, and then we can also have it move across. And that's what we're going to do here. It says, step 42, create a motion tween from frame 1 to 60. Frame 60 should have the bird off to the stage left. If you need review on this, please review making a simple motion tween. So I'm just going to quickly go through this. I'm going to insert a frame. I'm going to create a motion tween. I'm going to go to frame 60. And whoops. And I'm going to move him off to the left. Now, one thing you'll note is that when you move this playhead across, you will not see the movie clip doing anything. It really only shows us the first frame of that movie clip. Pardon the outside noise. I'm in my office today instead of at home. So you only see that first frame. Okay, so we'll move this across and just assume, and we'll see when we test the movie in a minute, that this will sort of animate as it's supposed to. Next it says insert a new layer. We're going to go up here, insert a new layer. It says insert a keyframe on frame 30. So I'm going to go to that layer and I'm going to insert a keyframe. I want to separate out the particular animations because we're going to sort of do different things to these in the end. And it says create a motion tween from frame 30 through frame 90. So I'm going to go up to frame 90. I'm going to insert a frame there. This is simply extending this out to frame 90. So again, I'm on the frame 30 keyframe, and we're just sort of reviewing how this is done. We're sort of repeating the previous steps. I'm going to grab bird movie clip, and I'm just going to put them in a different spot. I'm going to create the motion tween, and I'm going to have this bird fly off. Okay, so we have two birds. We have the first one coming in. After that one, the second one comes in. Okay, so that is up through steps 45. So we have two motion tweens, one from frame 1 to 90, and one from frame 1 to 60. That's this bottom one, and the second one from 30 to 90. Okay. Next, we're going to do a few more, and this is just to show you how we can sort of utilize the movie clip and do different things to it. Next week, we're going to sort of change a lot of things. So step 46 says insert a new layer, another layer. I'm going to get this on top. Insert a keyframe at frame 60. And it says this time place the bird movie clip on the left-hand side of the stage. So I'm going to sort of make sure I'm on that frame 60. And I'm going to put this guy on the left-hand side. Now, I know what you're thinking. This bird's going to be flying backwards. We're going to sort of utilize what I said before and be efficient about using this and flip them around. So it says make sure you have it selected with the selection tool and choose Modify, Transform, Flip Horizontal. This will flip the entire movie clip so that it's flying from the left to the right instead of right to left. So I'm going to go to Modify, Transform, and it says Flip Horizontal. You'll see that he turned around there and is now facing that way. We flipped the entire movie clip. Okay. Step 49 says create a motion tween from frame 60 through 120. So let's do that. So I'm going to go up to, and we can use this little slider to move up. And I'm just making these tweens 60 frames a piece. Create a motion tween, go on that last frame, and move this guy over here. Okay, so now he has a flight pattern from left to right instead of right to left like the two others. Okay, now the last thing we are going to do is deal with a what's called a free transform. So we're going to do one more of these. Practice makes perfect. We're going to insert a new layer. I'm on step 50 here. And it says insert a keyframe at 90. Create a motion tween from 90 to 150. So I'm going to go up to 150. And I'll do this fairly quickly. And we're going to have, it says frame 150 should have the bird off to stage left. So we're going to do it just like we did the first couple. Okay. So I'm going to choose bird movie clip and put them down here. Okay. We're going to have some overlapping birds. So I'm going to create this motion tween. And I'm going to do this guy so he zigzags up to the top left. Okay. Now, it says click on frame 150. Okay, we need to be on that 150. I'm going to zoom out so we can sort of see this a little bit better. And let's quick review. We have bird number 1 comes in, bird number 2 comes in, bird number 3 comes in from the other side. And then we have bird number 4, who I'm going to have crisscross there. Now, the last thing we're going to do here, it says click on the frame 150. It should select the bird over here. If it doesn't, you can sort of click on that. And it says click on the free transform tool, which is right here. Okay, just make sure it looks like that. It might not be positioned exactly. I'm going to click on that. What you'll see is a bounding box that kind of appears, and it allows us to size this thing along its flight. So what we're going to do is hold down Shift on your keyboard. This is step 55. Pull one of the corners to make it considerably larger. So I'm going to make this bird a lot bigger. Okay. If the movie clip re-enters the stage, which it kind of did, it kind of moved backwards because we made it bigger, position it off stage again. Okay, we can always position this thing and make sure it's off stage. Okay, now what we'll see, and you can sort of see it again, it's not showing the actual movie clip, but we see it moving from right to left and getting considerably larger. Okay, actually that's still on the stage there, so I'm going to grab it, make sure it's totally off. Okay. Now, this is fairly complex, or much more complex than we've dealt with thus far. We have 4 layers. We have flipped one of them. We have sort of 2 practice birds there. We flipped this one, so it's coming from the left side. And we've dealt with the free transform tool. So what we're going to end up with is the bird flying, bird flying, bird flying, and that one getting considerably larger. Okay. This is what you are going to give me. You're going to name this your first name, last name, underscore movie clip. Again, I don't want your FLA files. I want these files. Last thing it says here is make sure you save this. I would assume you're saving them anyway, because we're going to sort of add on to this next week. We're going to be dealing with scenes and putting some backgrounds in, and hopefully this is going to sort of be the first time you can imagine making a much longer movie. Again, your project 1 will sort of come down the pipe next week, but this is again laying the basis. So email me with any questions if I need to clarify anything. Again, this is much more complex, but we have 4 layers, we have a movie clip, and we've done a few things to them. There is a animation viewing and discussion this week. It's a movie called Heavyweight. I would say this movie is sort of quite complex, but also very, very visually simple. So take a look at that and finish that before next week. And again, email me with any questions, and we'll see you next week with Project 1 and 1 more exercise.